So you've just arrived in the UK and you can't wait to get out there and start meeting some new people, seeing some new places, and even enjoying some delicious British food. But there's just one problem. You've still got to get through airport security, and that means talking to the scary passport guy in English. What if I don't understand the questions? What if I give a bad answer? What if I've accidentally packed my suitcase full of illegal drugs? Maybe they'll send me home. Maybe they'll send me to prison. Don't worry. I'm here to show you the questions you need to know in the airport, how to answer them, and hopefully avoid going to prison. Let's get cracking. Alright mate, I'm Dan and I'm here to help you stop being an English student and start being an English speaker. Today's video is all about airports and the questions that you will hear and what you need to do to survive the airport. So I remember when I first arrived in Japan. I was in the airport and I was really nervous because I could understand some Japanese and I could speak a little bit, but I didn't really know what to do. I didn't know what questions they were gonna ask. I didn't know if I would be able to answer the questions. And I didn't really know what was gonna happen. And to be honest, it didn't go perfectly. You know, I didn't go to jail or anything like that, but it did take a long time. There was a bit of miscommunication that could have easily been avoided. And I want to make sure that you don't have these same problems. You can just fly through the airport and start having a good time. You know, beer, food, meeting new people, seeing new places, and all that good stuff. Now, the first thing you're probably gonna hear in the airport is, "May I see your ticket?" Or "May I see your passport?" Or "May I see your boarding pass?" Some combination of these things. This will happen at the check-in desk and the woman behind the counter just needs to see your documents. You don't really need to say anything, you just need to give them the things that they've asked for. You can just hand them over, or you could say something like, "Yeah, here you are," or "Certainly, here you go." Something like that will be absolutely fine. They'll check the documents and they'll give them back to you. Easy. The next question that they're going to ask you is, are you checking any luggage or baggage or bags, right? And what they mean is like your suitcases or your bags. And when they say check in the airport, they don't mean confirm. They mean like give the baggage to the airplane company and they store it underneath the plane during the flight and then you pick it up again at the other side. So that's what they mean when they ask, are you checking any baggage? If you are, you can just put it on the little conveyor belt, or, you know, same as before, "Yes, just this please," or "Certainly, here you are," pass it over to them. They'll put the stickers on it, and that's everything you need to do. Now the next question is really important. They're gonna ask you, did you pack these bags yourself? So what they're asking is basically, do you know exactly what is in your suitcase? And this is for security reasons. Other questions like this that they're gonna ask you, they're gonna say things like, have you at any point left this bag unattended? Like you were not with your bag at any point, right? And or has somebody asked you to carry something for them? And what they're checking is that only you have had access to the suitcase, you know what's in there, and there's no problems, right? Of course, unless you're doing something really dodgy, your answers are going to be very simple. You know, "Yes, I packed it myself," or "Yes, the bag has been with me the whole time," or "No, it's just my things." Very simple, as long as you're not doing anything you're not supposed to be doing. Now, the last question you're likely to hear at the check-in desk is, would you like a window or an aisle seat? And basically, what they're asking is, where do you want to sit on the plane, right? Nowadays, you can just choose your seat using the app before you even get to the airport. But if you haven't done that and you're at the check-in desk, they're going to ask you to choose a seat. And you've usually got two choices. You've got the window seat, which is the seat that's next to the window, duh. Or you've got the aisle seat, which is the seat that's next to the aisle. Now, aisle in English is like the walkway, the part that you walk down in the plane. It's called an aisle, and an aisle seat is next to that. Your answer depends completely on what you want. You know, a window seat, please, or I'd prefer an aisle seat. Something like that. Some people will often choose to sit in the middle of the plane or the back of the plane. Can I get a window seat at the back of the plane, please? Simple and easy. They'll choose the seat for you, give you your boarding pass, and on you go. Just a quick request before we get on to the next one. If you're enjoying this video, please smash that thumbs up button. And while you're down there, press that subscribe button too. And if you want to download the free PDF that goes with this video, it's got all the vocabulary and phrases that you need to know. You can get it right now using the link in the description. The next stage of your journey is to go through airport security, and that's where you're going to hear the question, can you put your belongings in a plastic tray, please? So this is where they're going to scan your carry-on luggage. You take your bag, you put it on the plastic tray, and on the conveyor belt, it goes through the security scanner. You may also hear them say things like, please take out any electrical items. They want you to take out any iPads, cameras, laptops, and put them in a separate tray to your main bag. They will also ask you to take off your shoes, your belt, and put any personal belongings in a tray too. You know, keys, wallets, even piercings, you know. Put all that stuff in a tray, let it go through the machine. You don't need to say anything, just do what they ask. The next thing you're going to hear is, can you step through the scanner, please? And that means they want you to walk through that weird door that doesn't have a handle, and you just walk through it and it kind of scans your body, right? The scanner. They want you to walk through it. So do that. You don't need to say anything, just walk through it. If there are no problems, you'll just get waved through and you go and collect your belongings. If there is a problem, you might hear an alarm, you know, beep, 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 in which case you go back to the start. They'll check again, have you got anything metal? They'll ask you, have you got anything metal? For me, piercings, I always forget. I also always forget to take my watch off, so I often go through twice. But you go through again, and assuming there's no problems, off you go. If it beeps again, you might hear a quite scary expression, and that's something like, excuse me, sir, or excuse me, madam, because the security alarm has been sounded, I need to search you. And they'll take you to one side, and they maybe pat you down, or they've got the beep, 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 scanner thing. And assuming that everything's okay, you'll be allowed to go on your way. In any of these things, you don't really need to say anything. Just do what they tell you. Now, the first thing you'll hear on the other side when you go to immigration is documents, please. Now, this is where you need to give your passport, your travel documents, your visa, and anything else to the security officer at immigration, right? Once again, you don't really need to say anything at this point. Just give him the documents. Just remember to be polite. Here you are. There you go. You know, certainly anything like that will be fine. Just give him the documents and he'll do his job. He is also likely to ask you at this point things like, what is the purpose of your visit? Why have you come here? What are you going to do? Your answer can be pretty simple. Travel or business or study, whatever it is. Very short answers are okay here. They'll also ask you things like, how long do you plan on staying? How long is your trip for? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever. And they may ask you, where will you be staying during your trip? They want to know the address of the hotel or the place that you're staying at. Just give them the information they ask for, keep your answers short, be polite, and you're probably going to have no problems. Probably. Now, the last stop is usually customs, and that's where you're going to hear the question, anything to declare? Now, this is a weird question, but what they mean is, do you have anything in your suitcase which is either restricted in this country, or maybe it's something you have to pay extra tax on? Now, if you do, if you have stuff like that, tell them. Say, yes, I do, it's this, and they'll tell you what to do next. Most people just say no, and they carry on their journey because they don't have anything like that. If you're not sure, tell them you're not sure, and they'll check your bags and tell you what you need to know. But basically, most of the time, they'll say, anything to declare? You say, no, I don't. And they say, okay, and you just crack on. And that means you've passed through the airport, you've survived, and you're free to start enjoying your time in the UK. Now, if I was you, I'd check out this video over here. It's full of useful stuff to help you understand British people and enjoy your time in the UK.